Hey guys, it's Sharon Costa. I just wanted to tell you what happened yesterday. Friday, I decided I would sell a few big items on Craigslist just to kind of get them moved out so I can bring more stuff in. And of course, that didn't go well because I haven't been on there in so long. I couldn't remember my password, and I ended up just scrolling through other people's stuff and getting excited and thinking, I want this and I want that. So this guy had this fish box, and it was a crate. I guess it's about this big. And it was just something about it that was just cool. It looked like, wow, that would be a great table. Or anyway, by fish box, I don't even know if it had fish in it at one time. It was just a box that said fish something and Massachusetts. And so I call the guy, and the guy gives me his address, and he lives all the way in Joppatown, Maryland, which is like an hour and 20 minutes from me. So when I typed it into the GPS, I called the guy back and I said, it's just too far. And he said, okay, no problem. And then I felt bad. I texted him and I said, if you really want me to come, I'll come, because I hate it when people do that to me and I miss something and I stay home all day waiting for someone and they never show up. And he's like, no, it's okay, really. So I said, okay. So I get back on Craigslist and I see a farm table, and it's the same guy. It was like 5 different things the guy had listed. So the farm table, I didn't want a farm table. I don't need a farm table. A farm table wouldn't even fit in my car. But around the farm table was some really cool things. All I saw was like galvanized and a couple other pottery looking things. So I called the guy back and I said, are you selling all the stuff around the farm table? So he started laughing and he said, yeah, I have all kind of stuff. I said, okay, I'm on my way. So off we go to Joppatown, Maryland. So when I get to the address, it was a Rite Aid, and I'm in the parking lot thinking, all right, this is kind of crazy. The lady on the GPS keeps saying, you have reached your destination. So I called the guy, and I'm like, I'm here, I think. And he said, where are you? And I said, the Rite Aid. He said, oh, you passed it. It's the big storage units up the road. I was like, in storage units? I thought I was going to the guy's house. So I'm driving to the storage unit, and I'm thinking, what if this guy murders me? I just felt real uncomfortable all of a sudden. But when I pulled up, it was a climate-controlled storage unit place, and they had a locked gate and everything, and I thought, well, this has to be safe. So I took my chance. So I meet the guy, and the guy proceeds to tell me that he purchased everything in the storage unit from, I guess, the owners of the storage unit company, and someone didn't pay their rent, or kind of like the whole storage war thing. And the guy, he was a nice guy, and he basically didn't know what anything was. He just wanted to make some money on it. And he did mention that he had taken everything to a flea market the day before. He paid $45 to get into the flea market, and he only sold $50 worth of stuff. So this guy, like, he was my best friend instantly, and I was his best friend instantly. So I want to show you some of the really cool things that I bought, including the famous fish box, and you're going to just love the fish box. So let me show you. The very first thing that I saw, there's 2 of these somewhere. Anyway, they're these big, like 1960s, 1950, 1960 metal tray. And I know these are worth money because I actually saw in Country Living magazine one day, there was a room and the whole wall was filled with all these black metal trays. And this one, about this size, was like $180. So I said to the guy, how about 2 for $5? And he said, oh, yeah, okay, sure. So I got 2 of these for $5, and I was just tickled pink. If you do buy something like this, you want to make sure that the painting is original. You know, you don't want something that someone else has already painted over. Keep it original, and you can use it to hang on the wall. You can use it as a little table topper, or you can just use it as a tray. So the other one was not quite as ornate, but there was another tray. And this tray, oh, here's the other one. The other one's just a little tiny guy. But this tray caught my eye, and it's Art Deco. It's probably from the 40s, and it's glass, and it has like this neat little retro design on it. It's very lightweight, and it has 2 handles, one on each side, and you can turn it over, and that's how you could tell that it's old, and it's kind of flimsy. So you would think that it was just a manufactured item, but I don't think so. I think somebody really put this together looking at the mechanics of it. So that was pretty cool. That was $3 as well. And then the next thing I saw, I got a little nervous because it was really tacky. But it's Thomasville Gallery Furniture, and it's a table. And actually, the table is really heavy, and it's really, really good wood. And someone decoupaged underneath of the glass these crazy little butterflies, which are like an applique. So right away, it was kind of like 70s, but once I got to looking at it, I thought, no, somebody definitely just stuck that on there, and I can get it off just as easy. So once again, whenever I'm looking for trays or tables or anything that has glass, if it has a thick enough, like a quarter to a half an inch lip here, then I know that I can mosaic the whole thing, and it'll be just phenomenal. So that's why I got this piece, and it's going to be a mosaic one day. So I got kind of happy. And then in the mix of things, he ended up just letting me like go at it. So I was climbing up shelves and handing him down different things. This is a really cool window. I haven't cleaned it up yet. It actually still has the hinges on it. And again, you always want to look for cool hardware. It has the lock on it. So that was probably a basement window. It could have even been a transom window. And it's just a really pretty gray color. So all the windows were like $3 and $5. So I just, I'm crazy on all of those. This one, it really isn't shabby chic. It's a little bit dirty, but all the wood is really nice, and it's the paint job's nice, and it's all still intact. So this would be a great table, being as some people just don't want the flaking paint and the lead paint. I do, but some people want to be a little safer. So anyway, I got 2 of these. One of them, the paint actually broke in transit. That's okay. Next I found this pretty cool mirror. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. I always look for small mirrors because I make medicine cabinets out of old suitcases. So this is an old suitcase, and I have a set of them that I got at a yard sale. And what I did when I first got it, I tore the lining out of it, so it looks kind of crazy at the moment. And as I pulled it all out, somebody put I think it's the Lone Ranger advertisements in it, like old comic books. And I just thought that was the oddest thing. And then when I talked to a friend of mine who's a carpenter, he said, well, we do that if we're replacing a wall for somebody. Sometimes we'll stick a newspaper article or something in it so that one day somebody else will find it. It sounded kind of crazy to me, but I guess that's what this person did. And I just picture like this huge suitcase factory and somebody like looking all around and make sure nobody's looking, and then hurrying up and gluing these articles, these comic strips. So anyway, I was going to cover over them, but I'm not. I'm just going to leave them like that and maybe do some other decoupage around it to hide the glue and to hide some of the not so pretty spots. And then I have a slate cutter, and I'm going to cut pieces of slate and use those for shelves, going right down there. And then it gets a mirror on the front and a really beautiful knob. So when I saw this mirror, it has a tag on it for $50, and they sold it to me for $6, and it's really in great condition. It has the little, I don't know if you can see it, but it has the little roses carved in it. And the edge of this is just all chipped away. Every little space is a chip. So there's no areas that are messed up on it. And like I say, it's real lightweight, and it even has a little hanger on the back, although I would adhere it a little bit better. But that would be the absolute perfect size for a suitcase. Just throw it like that. And next was another little door, and there was 2 of these, and these are really neat to use as trays. And this was actually a door. It wasn't a mirror. It has the spaces where the hinges were, so I thought that was kind of interesting. It's very heavy glass. It's very good wood, and the wood is all carved right here, and none of it is out of place or anything. So imagine that. Even sitting on top of a toilet tank, that would be great to put perfume on, with handles on it, without handles, really anywhere. And I love little trays and little bowls and little pieces of china just to even throw your jewelry on. rather than leave it sit on your nightstand or whatever. This might even fit on the nightstand. To me, it just keeps things kind of a little more organized than without it. So I got two of those, and a couple other doors, more little Shabby Chic. And this one is a true blue because it has these strips on it, and you can just see how old it is. I love to look at the different colors of the paints that are under it. And this has a fairly new knob on it, so these are probably the kitchen cabinets, I would imagine. And, oh, this is funny. I think it's Greta Garbo, but I saw that sitting there, and I had to have it, so I gave me that for $2. But that was beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just thought she had to be a purchase. And then I found this old sewing machine base. And I know everybody has seen these a million times. And the very first thing that I thought of was not to make a table out of it. Like you always see these, they're real nice and they have a tabletop on it. And that's okay. But once I started looking at the wrought iron and the mechanics of the wrought iron, it's not welded together. It's just all put together with screws and nuts and bolts. So I think I'm going to take it all apart and actually use the wrought iron for a couple different things. And I think I would make a lot more money using this that way, because I could probably make 3 different things out of it than just a table. And even this this wheel here, I could use that like a pulley and something. So that was a pretty good little deal there. Now to the fish box. The fish box is crazy. What was inside of the fish box was probably worth the price of the fish box. And it was these old magazines. I really didn't even look at the date. I still can't see it without my glasses. But these are just beautiful vintage little glamour girls. And there's about 6 of them. The American Weekly. Looks like it says 1939. Look at her. Is she a beauty or what? Wow, that would be great, just decoupage on something. So I love her. And here's the fish box. Now look at this. Can you just see that with big knob feet on it? I know it's backwards because that's the way my computer is, but I thought that that was really, really cool. And if I do it as a table with feet, with a piece of glass over it, I was thinking, how cool would it be to fill it with different little things from the sea? So I have some of these old bamboo fishing rods. See that? So I thought that that's really cool. I could take apart a few of them, put them in there, and then I have some old like crab baskets that are cool, and that might give me a good elevation to lift this stuff up. And I was at an auction and I actually bought a box that was filled with all these fishing lures, these antique fishing lures. And I really need to look them up before I just stick them in a box, because some of them can be worth a lot of money. That's what they look like. And there's some little squiggly crazy things in here that are supposed to look like squid or octopus. So yeah, this whole little thing is just filled with little creepy crawlers. And there's even some old crab line. I thought that might be cool in there. Old fishing line on a wooden spool. This guy was in there. I imagine this was for a trot line because it has the pulley on it. I'm not sure. But he would be cool with this little rope. And then I even found a few of these. And these are porthole covers. And they're pretty cool. These were actually left in the house I live in now. When I moved in, they had a little seashore thing going on. And I never liked the pictures, but it has glass, and it's actually cast iron. And the back of them had tags that were from some like seashore gift shop, and they were pretty expensive. So I have 2 of these. I just never knew what to do with them. So I thought, oh, it might be kind of neat to put a mirror in there, or even some newspaper clippings of some shark attacks or something. So I'm going to do a combination of everything that I just showed you inside of the box, and then put a piece of glass on it. And the box even has a hole screwed in it, so if I decide to make it into a lamp, that could be another option. And I was even thinking, how cool would it be to do this as a lamp, the fishing pole coming out the top. That would take a little bit of work and a little bit of thinking on my part, but anything is possible. Anyway, I think I did everything that I found in the little storage shed adventure. Oh my God, there's one more thing. And this was the best thing of everything. I can't believe I almost forgot to show it to you. Behind all these beds, I actually had to get up on a shelf and I spotted this. And it's a mirror. And right away I saw the darkness of the mirror. And a lot of times the really, really old pieces are dark, almost black. So that's how I knew it was worth something. Over. It's very, very ornate. And I didn't need it. I'm not going to say I didn't want it, but I have one that's semi-similar to this. So this is the mirror. Look at the top. Isn't that just gorgeous? And this little mirror down here is swivel. So I'm sure it went on a dresser. It probably will go on the dresser someday. But I said to the guy, he was so cute, I said, now that's a piece of furniture that you can get some money for. And I was showing him why, with the ornateness of it and just the age of the wood. And he's like, really, what do you think I could get? I said, I bet you could get about $400 for it. And he was like, wow. But his deal was he had to be out of the storage shed like within the next few days. And he kept offering me all these big stained glass church windows and all kind of things that were just dirt cheap. And he said, I'll give it to you for $40. And I was like, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And I said, all right, all right. He said, you know what? I'll give it to you for 30. So I got it for 30. And I might just feed my children for a week with what I make on it. Anyway, that's the show. Thanks for watching. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.